Hey everyone, this is Craig with GottaBeMobile.com, and I'm going to show you how to resize a SIM card if you need to make it bigger or smaller or whatever. In front of me right here I have two SIM cards. The bigger one here is a micro SIM card, and the one here is a nano SIM card. Now there are three standard sizes of SIM cards right now. There is, I guess what's called a standard SIM card or a mini SIM card, which is even bigger than a micro SIM card. It's a lot bigger than that. It usually comes with prepaid phones. So if you use Cricket, or if you sign up for Cricket, or you sign up for Pure Talk, some of those other prepaid carriers, you'll usually get a standard SIM card that you'll most likely have to cut down to a smaller size in order to fit a newer phone. So micro SIM cards are kind of on the way out. They're in slightly older phones. Sometimes you'll see them in newer, cheaper phones like the Moto E. And then a nano SIM is what you'll see in most newer phones like the iPhone 6s, iPhone 6, Galaxy S5, whatever. So what I personally need to do is I need to take this larger micro SIM card and I need to cut it down and so that it fits in a nano SIM slot so I can use it in my iPhone 6. Now there are a couple ways I can do this. The first way is that I could lay the micro SIM on top, lay the nano SIM on top of the micro SIM, sort of line it up the best I can and then trace around it. However, that's not the best way to do it. So instead, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this out of the way, is get a template like this, and it'll tell me I need to take a micro SIM, cut it down to a nano SIM, and then it gives me guidelines. So I put in my micro SIM right there, line it up inside the box, and then it'll give me lines where I need to cut it down in order to make it into a nano SIM. I will put a link down in the description of where you can download this template, but this is the best way to do it. So there are a couple tools that you'll need for this besides the template and your micro SIM. You'll need a pen to draw the lines, and you'll need a pair of scissors to cut it down, obviously. And then what's optional is you can use a ruler to make sure that you draw a straight line. Personally, this is just such a tiny little product to work on that I feel a ruler would just get in the way. So what I like to do is I just like to hold down the SIM card, center it inside the box, hold it down the best I can, and just draw the line by hand. Now, you might be worried because the lines aren't straight, but it doesn't have to be perfect, because once you roughly cut it down, you can fit it into the SIM tray, and if it doesn't fit, then you can take some sandpaper or utility knife and just shave the edges off until it fits into the SIM card tray. So I'm going to line this up the best that I can, and then we're going to draw the lines. Now, as you might have noticed, where I draw the lines at, it's going to be overlapping with the metal contacts. So when I go to cut it, it's going to cut off some of that gold-plated contact that you see. And that's okay, because the SIM card itself is actually contained in this oval shape right here. And we're not going to cut any of that off, so we'll be good to go. So I'm going to draw my lines here, and then we can go ahead and cut it up. Okay, so I outlined where I need to cut it. Again, it's a bit rough, but that's not really the important part here. So I'm going to go ahead and get my scissors, and we'll go ahead and cut this down to size. So I recommend having some very sharp scissors. Just cheap scissors from a school supply section really probably won't be the best. So you want to make sure to get some nice kitchen shears. These are a bit old, they probably need to be sharpened, but I think they'll work good enough for this. So we're going to go ahead and cut it down. Okay, so we cut the SIM card down. These are the leftover shavings that I cut off. And here is our new nano SIM card. As you can see, really all that's left is the gold-plated contacts. But I cut it down the best I could. Now we are going to see if it fits in a nano SIM tray. So the moment of truth. Okay, it fits in width-wise, but length-wise it's still a bit too long. But that's okay, because we can easily just trim off more. Now it's better to cut off a little bit at a time rather than just one big chunk, because if you make it too small, then it's not gonna fit snugly into the SIM card tray. So just a little bit at a time. Now when you get to the point where it's just a hair too big, that's where I would take some sandpaper maybe, or even get a utility knife and just carefully shave just a sliver of it off. But we're going to try and use these scissors and just very carefully take just a hair width off. Alright, so there we go. We got it in there. It's a nice good fit. So here's a little comparison. This is the micro SIM card that we have, cut down to a nano SIM, and this is the original nano SIM card. So that's pretty good, I think. Now we're going to slide this into my iPhone 6 and see if it works. So there we go. That's how you cut down a micro SIM card to fit in a nano SIM tray. I looked on the phone, made sure that the number associated with the SIM card was indeed activated on this phone. It is. I can call people on the phone, on this iPhone, using that number. So that's pretty cool. That's done. That's out of the way. We're good to go. So that is basically how you cut down a SIM card. Now, if you want to make a SIM card larger, well, you can't simply just add on to a SIM card. Instead, you have to get adapters. So if you want to turn a nano SIM card into a micro SIM card, they sell adapters online. I will link to those in the article that I will link down in the description. But yeah, that's it. That's how you resize a SIM card. Thanks for watching.